Tonight in Crisis in the Classroom, Capitol rallies and protests suggest House and Senate conservatives will vote to expand Governor Lee's pilot voucher program to every county in the state.
However, there may be a handful of Republican holdouts siding with Democrats, believing taxpayer money to cover some of the costs of private school or homeschool won't be effective, may even hurt rural school districts. Tonight, a look at both sides.
What do we say to vouchers? No!
People holding signs and shouting on the Capitol steps.
We're here today to say no to Bill Lee's voucher scam. Yes. It is a scam because it will mainly help higher income people with a sort of welfare for the wealthy.
Governor Lee's State of the State address interrupted by hecklers.
Now, some are concerned that more choice for families could mean fewer resources for public schools. That's simply not true.
All of this tension over the school choice voucher program. The 2024 proposal aims to expand the state's pilot program, offering students in Tennessee a taxpayer stipend up to $7,075 to apply towards private school or a homeschool program of their choice. The pilot program barely passed in 2019, and there are conflicting opinions on whether or not it works. Republican Senator Richard Briggs voted against the pilot program the first time and is still undecided this time around.
Got a lot of questions. I'm not getting a lot of answers. I want to see the data where it works. I don't think you can. I don't think there is any data that shows this works.
Based on the pilot program last year in Memphis, Nashville, and Hamilton County, most of the 2,400 school voucher participants had lower TCAP test scores than their peers in public school. However, 91% of parents completed the Department of Education satisfaction survey and were very satisfied with their child's academic growth. If the school voucher program expands statewide, there are questions on how it will impact rural schools, factoring in things like transportation and accessibility. Republican Representative Jody Barrett represents Dickson, Hickman, and Lewis counties. Some parts of his district are more than an hour and a half outside Nashville city limits.
Two of my counties, there aren't any private schools for there to even be a choice for them to use this money if it was given to the students. So, and that's the same in a lot of counties out in the rural parts of the state. So I'm not sure that how this will create options just by putting the money out there alone.
Speaking of the money, Governor Lee plans to offer these $7,075 grants to 20,000 eligible students across Tennessee, starting in the 2024-2025 school year. Doing the math, it totals $141.5 million a year if all slots are filled, plus administrative costs. The governor said voucher funding would not impact the state's education fund or public schools. Representative Barrett thinks only a small percentage of students will take advantage of the voucher program and doesn't think it will impact public schools on a wide scale. While he's still weighing the pros and cons, he's looking closely at the parents who are sharing success stories.
The effort that's being put in place by the students that have made this move into a different setting, going from a bad environment or one that they were not successful in, and having a change of surrounding and environment, and that creating a new sense of purpose for those students. That's as much an important part of what we're doing here as it is the actual test results itself.
Corey DeAngelis with the American Federation for Children has closely watched the school choice program take hold across the country.
The decision should be in the hands of the parents. They should be in the driver's seat. They are the primary decision makers for their own kids, not the government.
According to edchoice.org, 31 states offer school choice programs and 10 states have fully adopted the measure. Existing data on whether the program works and is worth the cost is hotly debated state by state. In particular, what assessment criteria should be used to evaluate the program's success, and how to prioritize the importance of test scores, learning environment, preferred curriculum and content, social aspects, and unique circumstances. It's unclear and hard to foresee the potential participation rate in Tennessee. And while all signs point to this proposal passing, some Republicans still need some critical questions answered.
Why are we doing it? Is it something that we really need to do to solve some problem, or is it a problem that we're creating? And then finally, how are we going to pay for it? That's the big thing.